Alright, well, the idle was way too fast. I might have to reconfigure, maybe even manually on my servo. I don't know. I really need to get the idle to slow down. But not sure I've conquered the problem just yet. It's definitely running a lot faster, but it doesn't seem to want to take any throttle, so I have to sleep on it. Next step. So I had to stop testing there because the battery in my little starter box had become depleted, which was good to know because I haven't charged it since Taxi Test 1, so it's pretty impressive performance out of that battery. After some mowing, which to me is the same thing as sleeping on it, I think I have determined my next path. I lost my rock solid idle by making the last change that I made. So one important note about R&D is you only change one thing at a time. If that doesn't work, then go back. So I need to put the loop back in that was going into the needle valve because that seemed to give me a good idle. The idle I had just now, you could tell by the sound of the engine, was way too high. It was out of control. I had no control. The radio was set so that it should be idling, and it was not. It was way too fast. It was out of control. You can't tell that from the video really because the frame rate effect that takes place on a video camera when you try and film propellers spinning at high speed, it really, the camera can't keep up with the propellers, so at certain times it looks like the prop isn't even spinning, or in some cases even spinning backwards. And that's all related to the frame rate of the camera. So in the video, the effect that's created by a counter-rotating prop in those conditions was really quite interesting. I've never actually seen that before, but regardless, you could hear that the engine was running way too fast. So all these changes that have happened in the last 2 or 3 runs have come from moving the routing of the fuel tube, none of which been something I was really looking for, except the rock solid idle I had with the loop going in the bottom of the needle valve. I've seen this high RPM thing before. I'm not sure I caught it on video though, but I have seen it before. I don't remember the configuration I was in with my fuel tube at the time, but I've seen it before. So all these different variations are taking place just with the routing of the fuel tube. The only thing that hasn't changed in all that time is the location of the needle valve. After going back and looking at the video of my run on the test stand, it appears that the needle valve is actually above the carburetor. And originally I thought that this was going to be a big issue, that I was going to have to pull the engine out, but that was all based on the fact that I was trying to keep the needle valve accessible from the outside of the airplane, which really isn't all that necessary. So I believe I can develop a 3D printed bracket that I can attach to this fuselage former to mount the needle valve in here and be able to adjust it in here and have a nice flow right straight into the carburetor without having to go uphill like it is now. And I believe that that really is the answer. All these iterations I've gone through, and comes down to the fact that I chose this location for the needle valve to start with is what's caused all these problems, I believe. So we'll see what happens from there.